U.S. attorneys are going to jail. Oh, yes, it's getting closer and closer. I keep telling people U.S. attorneys are going to jail. Let me give you an example. The 14 states that are suing right now, including my great state of Illinois here in Chicago, Chi-Town Bears down. Basically, the suit is to get Elon away from government, and it looks like it's going well. The DOJ signed an affidavit saying that Elon's not the head of Doge, but 2 weeks later, the President of the United States in the State of the Union says, what? Elon's head of Doge. There's enough paperwork and everything there. There's going to be heads rolling. And here's how it works. They roll the heads of people who are under the administration. So it's not necessarily Bondi that's going to get it. One of her U.S. attorneys are going to get it. Why did 7 U.S. attorneys for the first time ever in New York resign? Never ever happened before, because they knew it was going to be some illegal-ish going on, and they're going to get the H-E-double-L out of there. And that's what the U.S. attorneys in there. But there's so much arrogance and bravado that they think that they're not going to get in trouble. They think they're untouchable, y'all. And that's their destruction. The greatest weakness, the two greatest weaknesses of the Trump administration is incompetence and arrogance. When you match those things, it is incredible. Think about what just happened with Hegseth. Think about that. That was with Signal. That is a hot mess. And the more you repeatedly do that, that's the big problem. That's the big challenge. That's the thing that's going to hurt them the most. They're in trouble. They're in big, big trouble. And what I think is going to happen is that there's first, before the jail, there's going to be people resigning. They're going to get up out of there real quick. They're going to lose their jobs. And all they were doing was following orders. Do you know that the motions that they're signing in all these cases now are only high level? That means that normally U.S. attorneys who would sign and fill out, they got people at this level filling them out. Why? Because there's people, whistleblowers are saying, there are people who will not sign those motions because they know that could be a death sentence for their career. See, the worst thing ain't them going to jail. You would think the worst thing going to jail because maybe they get pardoned by Trump, right? The worst thing that could happen is they lose their law license. Oh, by the way, those 39 wins out of 40, one of which was the American Bar Association. American Bar Association will snatch. They've done it before. There are people from the first term who went to jail and lost their license or lost their license in some way. Giuliani, he lost his license. I'm trying to tell you, this is possible. These guys are going down because they're following somebody because they want so bad to have a good career and be at the top. And some are just arrogant and stupid, and others just want to do well and they want to stick around. Maybe they got situations they got to keep their jobs, but they need to search elsewhere. And plus, those 200 law firms they're going after for suing the Trump administration. How do you think that's going to play out in the private sector when they realize that and they realize you were part of that? How do you think that's going to play out in the judicial sector when you're trying to get judges moved or impeached or making threats to them and you're part of that administration? That's like coming out of Enron, Lehman Brothers, trying to get a job. Working for Bernie Madoff and you trying to get a job. That's not good. It's just ruining your reputation. You'd be best to resign because if you don't, it's a good chance you could go down with them. Straight to jail. That's why I believe U.S. attorneys are going to jail. Facts. Did I earn your subscription? If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're not on YouTube, follow me wherever you see this. But get on YouTube, Darren Monroe Politics. I am posting every hour, 24 hours, with really informative things that nobody else on the web is talking about.